look handsome? There's seats over here.
It's almost 7 o'clock. Get settled in. If anyone needs a book before we get started, I've got 2 left. All right. Do we have any new people attending Racing for Recovery for the first time tonight? Thanks for coming.
Thank you for attending the Racing for Recovery Support Group meeting. We are focused on maintaining a drug-free and healthy lifestyle. Since 2001, our open forum meetings welcome parents, adolescents, recovering individuals, and anyone who supports our mission. Your suggestions, comments, or ideas are welcome to make our meetings the best they can be. The Racing for Recovery Support Group meeting is a cutting-edge alternative to what is currently offered by combining substance abusers, families, friends, and the public at large. We have created an environment that is beneficial to everyone who has been affected by drug and alcohol addiction. The meeting start time is 7 p.m. Please be on time. Please turn off cell phones or ringers to vibrate and refrain from posting on social media during the meeting to show respect and courtesy to yourself and others. Please only one person speaking at a time. Please speak loudly so that everyone can hear. Proof of attendance is gladly provided. Please turn in your paperwork prior to the meeting and you can pick it up at the end of the meeting. Honesty is required. Feel free to openly share your comments and points of views on how alcohol and drug addiction has impacted your life. This meeting is open to people of all ages and welcomes diversity, so please refrain from using excessive foul language or language that discriminates against any race, gender, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or disability, to maintain an atmosphere of respect and dignity for all who are present. If you see a visitor or a new member or returning member that you haven't seen in a while, please warmly welcome them into our program. Your confidentiality is important to us. What you say here will not be discussed outside of the meeting. Please refrain from leaving the meeting while it is in progress because it is disruptive to others. Smoking or vaping should be done away from all the entrances out of respect for those who choose not to partake in that. Please do not smoke or vape by the doors, and please dispense of all trash and garbage cans, and do not litter on our premises.
Thanks, Dustin.
You're welcome, Stephen.
Who's got the support group meeting guidelines? Or the guidelines for living a lifestyle recovery, sorry. Yeah, you got that.
I'm Mel. I have the guidelines. Guidelines for living a lifestyle recovery. The lifestyle recovery guidelines are intended to be utilized by recovering individuals, their families, and anyone else who is striving to avoid substance abuse and achieve sobriety. Guidelines. 1. Recognizing that substance abuse ruins lives. 2. Wanting to pursue positive alternatives to substance abuse such as our education, employment, quality relationships, and health and fitness. 3. Using resources such as friends, family, teachers, and peers as a way to achieve and remain sober. Adding sports, art, or music to these resources will help us stay focused and motivated. 4. Defining balance and working toward making it a part of everyday life. 5. Building self-esteem and confidence through sobriety to combat negative feelings regarding oneself. 6. Understanding that negative behaviors of isolation and self-pity lead to self-destruction. 7. Lifting a person up is different than allowing them to continue their destructive lifestyles. Be there for yourself and be patient with your friends and family. 8. Learning how to help without supporting the addict's behavior, providing assistance to the recovering individual that will improve their lives, not further their usage. 9. Recognizing personal challenges and integrating them into our lifestyle as challenges to triumph over. 10. Caring for our personal, emotional, physical, and spiritual individuality is the source we use for our sense of worth. Each person is truly magnificent. Our mission at Racing for Recovery is to prevent all forms of substance abuse by promoting a lifestyle of fitness and health for all those affected by addiction.
Thanks, Mel. All right, who's got What Racing for Recovery Means to Me by Kelly Anderson?
What Racing for Recovery Means to Me by Kelly Anderson. Respect yourself enough to quit using. A. Accept the challenges that lie ahead. C, commit to your recovery. I, include friends and family on your journey. N, never doubt your will to succeed. G, give yourself credit for your accomplishments. F, focus on the positive things you want in life. O, overcome your fears and keep moving forward. R, remember the reasons you are seeking sobriety. R, reach out to others to give and receive support. E, expect holes in the road, choose another road. C, care for your body. We only get one in this lifetime. O, open your heart, mind, emotions, and spirit. B, victory comes from a balanced lifestyle. E, educate yourself on all aspects of recovery. R, racing for recovery saves lives. And Y, you will learn that with sobriety, anything is possible.
Thank you. All right, it's time for introductions. Here's where we go around the room, say your name, and why you came. You don't have to say you're an actor or alcoholic. You can if that helps you.
My name is Dustin. I come here because this place, these meetings, the people here help reinforce the lifestyle I continue to live today.
I'm Pat. I come here to see my friends and learn something and for the positivity.
I'm Esther. I'm here to support my son, Michael.
My name's Ben. This place is one of my tools to help me stay sober.
Michael, I come here to practice humility.
I'm Jen. I'm here to support Michael and also give and receive support for myself.
I'm Amanda, and I come to this place helps me stay on the right path.
I'm Dean. I come here for multiple reasons, mostly to remind me that there's a better life than the life I was living in the past. And to remain humble, grateful, and empathetic.
I'm Brittany, and I'm here to learn more about trauma-based recovery and care.
I'm Craig. I come here for support.
I'm Jamie. I'm here for learning.
Amanda, I'm here for support.
I'm Stephanie. I'm here for support too.
I'm Marlon. I'm here to learn.
JT, here to get the tools to stay clean and sober.
I'm Eric, and this Monday night meeting, along with the entire program, has become part of a sober lifestyle.
Vienna, and I am here to continue learning what keeps me sober and to continue working on a foundation, an indestructible foundation, I would say, through a sober, healthy lifestyle.
I'm Brandy. I'm here because I'm learning daily through this program how to deal with the trauma and pain I have endured to hold me back from living a healthy, sober lifestyle.
I'm Jen. I've come to continue on the journey of my new life.
I'm Sarah. I come to keep learning and become a better version of me.
I'm Jacob. I'm here to learn how to remain sober. My name's Frank. I'm here to get the tools necessary to stay sober. And I want to say thank you to all my peers that have been backing me no matter what what I've been going through. I got people there to help me through it.
Ryan, I'm here to learn the book and have help stay sober.
I'm Josh. I'm here to remain positive tonight and maybe say something good if I get a chance.
My name's Dan. Come here because this is where I need to be, and there's endless possibilities with this program, and it keeps me sober.
I'm Carl. I'm here to learn.
I'm Amy. I'm here to support my brother Carl and my friend Adam and anyone else who needs the support.
I'm Adam. I am here. I'm here today to. It's part of my healthy routine, and I'm working on consistency.
My name's Alyssa. I'm here to support Adam and to learn.
My name is Michael. I come here for the inspiration.
I'm Brittany, and I need to create a more stable lifestyle.
I'm Chris, and I'm here because every time I think I've got this sobriety thing, it's probably the time I need to rekindle my connection with this place the most, this lifestyle, I should say, not the place. Just walking in the room, especially like Monday and Thursday nights, so many people, so awesome. It feels like home when I step in the door.
My name's Megan. I'm here because it's part of my new sober routine, and I'm just here to listen, learn, and be supported. I'm Sarah, and I'm here to listen and learn.
I'm Sarah. I'm here to keep an open mind and learn, because there's a lot of good stuff in this book.
Here we go. So I'm here for improvement. Greg Singer. I come to Racing for Recovery because it utilizes me with the tools to live a better life and remain sober.
I'm Cindy. I'm here to learn and love the better version of myself, and there's a lot of good things up here, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
Good meeting.
My name is Faye, and I am here because I struggled daily with making my choices.
My name is Chris. I come here because of the people, the positivity and support, the book.
I'm Andy, and I'm here to keep growing in my recovery. Well, Patrick, and I'm here because Racing for Recovery has helped me change my life. This is part of my Monday routine, and there's some awesome stuff in this book.
My name's Eric, and I keep coming back here because this place helps to remind me the importance of balance in my life. And there's a lot of good stuff in this book.
I'm Mel, and the more I come to this meeting, the more I fall in love with it. It's part of my routine. I don't really like talking about my sobriety date and stuff, but Rob always reminds me to be grateful, so I am grateful to have 12 weeks consistent. And I am learning, like most of us early in our sobriety, that my feelings are fickle and they fade, and to stay consistent and grateful.
I'm Darlene. I'm here at IOP, learning a whole lot. And this week, my goal towards that is to not just take it in, but to put into action what I'm learning, to really do what they're telling me to do, not just writing it down or hearing it, just basically making it happen.
I'm Alicia, and I'm here for whatever mistake that I made.
I'm Nate, and I'm here because I want to be.
I'm Nikki, and I'm here because I want to be.
Hi everybody, I'm Joe. I come to the Monday night meeting specifically because there's a lot of good stuff in this book, and I learn something new every time I come. And I don't think I can stress this enough, but I'm here to support everybody that wanted the Patriots to lose.
I'm Steve. I'm an alcoholic, and I'm here for the positivity. I'm Andre. I'm here to give support, receive support, and remain teachable.
My name's John. I'm here as a requirement, a responsibility that I have. Gives me some hope and keeps me in control. And yeah, a lot of other good things that I can't even think of right now. Sorry.
I'm Tyler. I'm here to stay on the right path.
I'm Heather. I come here because this is where I enjoy to come. This is where my friends are. And I try to find every excuse possible today not to come, and that's usually when I need it the most.
I'm Rob. I'm here for the positivity. And there's a lot of good stuff in this book.
and I want to continue to be a better person.
Randall. Enjoy this meeting. A lot of good stuff in the book. A little late, but it's all right. I'm still here. So.
Thanks for coming.
Bobby, just love learning something new every week.
I'm Andy. I'm here for my tri-weekly smile.
My name is Matt, and I'm here to learn about myself and for peace of mind.
We didn't forget.
I'm Jen. I'm just here because I love this place.
I'm Brendan. I'm here to maintain my awesome level of awesomeness. It's not just awesomeness in the book, it's awesomeness in each and every one of you. Jeez.
Nice.
It's awesome.
My name is Brian. This will be my second time at racing. I'm just here to expand my toolbox of ways to keep myself on the right track, and so far I really enjoy racing, and I'll try to be here a little more often.
Jay Graham. I'm trying to learn how to stay sober through life's hardships and try to find some balance.
I'm David. I'm here to learn more about this good book that really helped me through the hard weekend that I had.
I'm Zach. I'm here to learn.
I'm Kevin. I'm here to stay on the right track.
I'm Diane. I'm here for learning of a positive lifestyle.
Just this place keeps me sober. I keep coming back.
My name's Chris, and I'm just here.
My name's Joe. I come here for a lot of reasons, but primarily I'm here because it's how I start my week off right, and I'm here to remain teachable.
Hi, I'm Steven. I'm here because this place gives me so much joy, and I'm happy that it's contagious. Because just from the introductions, there are people laughing, having a good time, but it's not all jokes here, and we know that too. It's about a lot of serious stuff, and I'm just happy we're all here working together for the greater good of us. It's really cool. Who's got the answer?
I got it. The Answer by Donald D. Carr. Running from the misery, trying to escape the pain. As I approach the light of hope that lies before me. Each step overwhelms me. Every breath sears my throat. I ache. My body rebels against me. My memories torment me. Agony has become my closest companion. My demons mock me as I dangle helplessly above the abyss of alcohol and drug abuse. The voices all sound the same, criticizing, accusing, blaming me for what has happened. They don't understand. They don't care who I am. I'm a human being, full of thoughts and feelings. I'm worth saving. Just show me the way. At last, I reach the light of promise. There stands the answer. Open arms, understanding smiles, looks of trust. And so it begins. Racing for recovery.
Thanks, Bob. Announcements.
Race.
There's a race coming up in October, guys, and it's gonna be sweet. Our annual 5K, 10K mile walk. Get ready. I know there's a lot of time until there, but get ready. It's gonna be sweet. Any other announcements, Andre?
Right now, we're in the process of organizing a chili cook-off for mid-March. We got authorization last week, so we just have to make a decision on the date. But you can sign up. You can see me to sign up, contestants. There's no judges. It'll just be people's choice. So we don't, get in a big confrontation. We don't want all that.
All right.
But other than that, it'll be mid-March. I think maybe before St. Patrick's Day or the weekend before, which I think is the 9th.
Do you have a location? Like where?
Right here.
Oh, here? Okay.
Andre's house.
All going to Andre's. All right.
Also, my birthday is in March. Don't know how that's relevant. Trivia. First day of spring.
So it's gonna be Brennan's birthday party as well.
Oh.
So good stuff.
Awesome.
All right. Other than that, as you can see from the introductions, our meetings are for everyone affected by self-destructive behaviors. No topic is off limits. If you have a question or something you'd like to discuss, we encourage you to bring it up early so we have time to discuss it. That being said, is there anything you guys want to talk about before we get started in the book? Anything good? Anything bad? Positive, negative, anywhere in between? You guys are really excited to get started in chapter 1, aren't you?
Yeah.
We finally made it, guys. We're out of the introduction. We're on page 1. Chapter 1, Substance Abuse Ruins Lives. Who wants to read for me?
Chapter 1, Substance Abuse Ruins Lives. Whether you sniff it, smoke it, eat it, or shove it up your ass, the result is the same: addiction. William S. Burroughs. In October of 2012, I did my second Ironman World Championship Triathlon in Kailua, Hawaii. Kona, as it's known in the triathlon world, is the World Series of Triathlon. It's a prestigious race that everyone aspires to and to get in. I won the annual lottery that awards a limited number of slots to qualified athletes. I got word that I hit the lottery on the anniversary of my 19th year of sobriety and my daughter Skylar's 14th birthday. Now how's that for a sign? Some friends who had been affected by addiction came with me and we spent a week of having fun. When race day came, I appreciated it more than when I had done it the first time. Back then it was about finishing, but in 2012 I was able to enjoy it to the fullest. During the swim stage, I remembered that 20 years earlier to the day, I had been in my grandmother's garage with a bottle of vodka in the car running. Talk about coming a long way. That day I finished the event in 13 hours, 30 minutes, and I was honored and humbled when I crossed the finish line. It's every triathlete's dream to do this race, and now I've done it twice. My life sounds perfect, but I wouldn't be where I am if addiction hadn't turned my life into something out of a bad TV movie. It's not that I don't have professional training, I do. I'm a licensed chemical dependency counselor with a bunch of really cool looking letters after my name. But I would not be as effective working with people the way that I do if I had not nearly destroyed everything in my life with weeds and drugs. This is a book filled with brutal honesty, so it's only fair that I be brutally honest about myself. Even though I've been clean and sober since 1993, I still feel like killing myself much more often than I should. Even though I have built a new life for myself around fitness, triathlon, and being of service to others, sometimes I can't help but look back on everything that I lost. There's a connection between everything that set me on the road to addiction, losing my mom, feeling abandoned as a kid, and my problems today with my marriage, loneliness, and the feeling that I'm a worthless piece of garbage who would be better off under the ground than above it.
You just finish it off.
Finish up, okay. Because of all this, I can honestly say I've been there. I know exactly what addicts go through every day because I went through all of it. I got booted out of school, I beat the crap out of my parents who kicked me out of the house, I stole, I spent time in jail, I used drugs under the most hair-raising, degrading circumstances you can imagine. I know how it feels to think you'll never walk out of the dark tunnel, to wake up disgusted with yourself, and to know that despite the disgust, you'll be shooting up, snorting, or drinking again the first chance you get. To think that only possible solution to hating yourself this much is ending yourself. If you want the gory details, I suggest that you read my first book, Racing for Recovery from Addict to Ironman. But trust me when I tell you, I've been there. You can't shock me. That's critical. I don't think you can counsel people who are trying to escape addiction unless you understand what addiction is. Hold on. You're saying, what is addiction? You may think you know, but I don't think you do. I'll tell you what addiction is, but you're not going to like it.
You can stop there. Thanks, Mom. All right, guys. Say it, say it. There's a lot of good stuff in this book. So, what did you guys think? Does anyone relate to anything in here? What's up, Frank?
Part I got is toward the end where it said there's a connection between everything that set me on the road to addiction, like losing your mom, I did. Feeling like I didn't have a father, go under the abandonment, loneliness, worthlessness, and stuff like that. I relate to that. Sounds about like I should put my name right next to it or something. You know, but I like where I'm at now. I'm getting the help I need, even though it took that many years to do it, but I'm a lot happier than I used to be.
Thanks, Frank. I related really heavily to this. Me and my friend were joking around the other day. It was like kind of serious at the same time. It was pretty dark actually, but it was kind of funny. We were talking about things we like to fill our lives with, things that make us happy, and like hobbies, activities, like working out, hanging out with friends, playing pool. It's like, why do we do these things? And it's just like, so we don't have to think about ending ourselves or killing ourselves. That's like the main goal. Because if you're really sad, that's what you want to do, in my opinion, and his too. It's like, as long as I don't feel like killing myself, I'm doing a good job. Because that's something that I struggled with most of my adolescent life and adult life. And it's really serious, but if you can't laugh at yourself, what can you laugh at, first off, because that's cool. But, I don't know, we were just joking around about it, because I was like, yeah, I love working out, I love swimming, I love doing all this stuff, but it's adding this component to my life that it gives meaning. It gives a lot of meaning to my life. And with that, I don't nearly think about that at all, and which is amazing. It's a huge accomplishment in my own life, because I've been right where Todd was too. I have.
I think the most amazing thing is I've gone through this book 3 times. And as I look at the date on this of 2013 when it came out, and then I look at the date here that Todd became clean and sober in 1993, and in all those years and what he went through and what he's accomplished, still in that time, what is it, 20-some years, that he still feels that same feeling, that no matter how much you accomplish in your recovery, that this still eats at you all these years later. And even though he has all these letters and numbers behind him, as he says, it still goes back to the same thing, no matter how many years, from what I've heard with people, it still goes back and you still have that same feeling that you don't want to be here. And it just amazes me that, you know, and after going through this 3 times now, and I look at those dates and it just blows my mind that to think that, you know, no matter what we go through, it still goes back to the core, and no matter how much you help yourself, you still got to work, and you still got to come to meetings, and you still got feelings, and you still have to learn how to get through that. And to me, that's hell. I mean, that's pure hell to have to go through. I've never had to go through it, but when I hear this and when I hear what everybody says here, it's a terrible way to have to live. From something so simple that no one knew, just by taking a drink, by using drugs or whatever, a very simple thing that you could become addicted to this, and 20, 30 years later, you still have that terrible feeling. It just amazes me.
Thanks, Pat. Mel?
Yeah, I just did trying to be positive. The last couple of meetings I've been lack thereof. So just to be positive, I think I really identify with the first couple paragraphs, how he talks about the first race he just did and he was going through the motions just to do it, but the second one he actually like enjoyed it, or you know, he appreciated it more. And I think for me, for a couple of reasons, that's how I feel about my sobriety now. My past attempts, I was just there. This time I'm actually putting in the work and I'm enjoying it this time around. And then second, the other way I kind of look at it is, which I'm not embarrassed to admit it, when I was in rehab, my daughter had to go live with her dad while I was getting treatment. And I think up until that point in her life, I was being a parent and keeping her alive and keeping her fed. And I don't know that, I can't, yeah, we did stuff together, but I can't really say like, you know what, like you're just going through the motions. Like I have a kid and that's what you're supposed to do and you're supposed to be a mom and whatever. But I think even despite her teenage angst, I'm actually like, since then, working more to be her mom and like to actually be more dedicated and actually like be there and be a part of it rather than just going through the motions as a parent. So I guess the positivity for me is to just being present the second time around as a parent and in my sobriety.
Thanks, Mom. There we go.
Just reading these couple of reading and listening to a couple of these paragraphs, it kind of put a whole perspective for me and kind of what I have to do. Almost like a step-by-step. You know those old school like travel booklets with the magic marker where you start to scribble and a picture appears? Kind of like that, hearing some of the things shared. It gave me a beginning, an end, and like a goal. And that even with those scribble pictures, there's still that one little section that you always miss. And that's going to be that, and I realize that that's going to be that feeling that I'm going to struggle with the rest of my life. But it shows me that there's things that I need to work on. I need to identify those so that I can. And then I will eventually get to that point where I'm finding the things that I need to do to make myself happy, to fill my unknown. Because I don't clearly know myself, not with filling everything that I've been filling with. So it kind of gave me a clear picture of what I need to do.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Adam? I can definitely relate to a lot of how Todd felt when he was writing this or what he was describing. Blunt honesty, and I mean, I've definitely felt that low, for sure. What I'm kind of struggling with now, and I feel like kind of relates to this is like as I take positive steps I know that are good, and they're what I actively want to do. It's like I always will have, or not always, but I have this voice like in the back of my head saying, you know what I mean, like, oh, you're not gonna make it, or it's not enough, or you know, and it's just, so it's, even though I'm like, I feel like I'm just trudging, you know, and I hope that through like some consistent application of this, like the voice, you know, that feeling or voice will lessen, just that lacking, not enough kind of thing is just, I don't really like, and I don't really want that to be a part of my life anymore. So I'm gonna try to get rid of that.
You just like set off a light bulb in my head, and it was positive self-talk. And that's like something I do every day, right when I wake up out of bed, because right when I wake up I'm like, God, this sucks! And I'm like, it's gonna be alright. It's like, but no, it's not! You're like, it's fine, just relax. And then everything I have to do the entire day rushes in front of my face, like in my head, like right behind my eyeballs. I see everything I have to do the whole day. And I'm just like, relax, just take one step out of bed, you'll be fine. And then I go through this every morning. It doesn't change. It's like, it's the same thing. And I just have to be calm with myself. It's so foreign to think about this, because all throughout most of my life I used anger as a motivation towards myself. Like if I was working out, I'd be like, come on, you idiot, push it up harder. Come on, you idiot, run faster. Come on, like, I was using a different form of language, but like, we're just gonna substitute idiot for like, yeah.
That didn't seem excessive.
But yeah, I did a lot of negative self-talk throughout most of my life because I didn't like who I was. And I used anger and like putting myself down to motivate myself. What I've learned in sobriety is that I can lift myself up and I can be like really understanding with myself. And it sounds really weird to talk to yourself in your own head, but like, I mean, I still think it's kind of weird, but I like it because it works. So I'm not gonna knock it because I'm doing it and it works. But if you think of yourself as like a child and you're raising this child and trying to teach it something, you wouldn't be awful and say the stupid things you say to yourself at those times. You say, hey, you're gonna be fine. It's all right. Just like relax, take a breath. It's gonna be fine. And after a while, you start believing it because it's true. It's cool. So we'll get to positive self-talk later, but there's my little snippet about it. Go for it. And then Heather.
Just what you were talking about with self-talk, positive self-talk. Just it's kind of funny because part of my toolkit with recovery is writing. I write tons and tons and all the time, man. And I heard a quote not too long ago by Eleanor Roosevelt that says, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." And I kind of pondered that for a little while and you know, realized that I give myself my own consent to talk to myself negatively. And it's just funny that you bring that up because yeah, I got like a page and a half just on how you know, self-talk is basically self-talk occurs regardless of what mentality I find myself in. It seems from my own experience and what I've read in the different literatures that self-talk is the vehicle by which the mind assesses, addresses, and builds or destroys itself. Therefore, by adjusting the self-talk, I may be able to modify my own perception, which is, you know, my own perception of myself, basically is what I'm trying to say. So I just had to share that because that's, you know, that's where I'm at right now. It's funny that you bring that up. Thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome. It is. It's really good stuff. Yeah. All right, so then we had Heather, then Cindy.
I don't know. For me, that little bit just reminds, it like reiterates that it's a journey and not a destination. Because like for Todd, even after 20 years, he still had like things happening to him. And then it also just reminds me that like, I don't know what number it is, but life hardships are still going to happen and you don't have to use over it. Because he could have easily just gone back out, obviously, and just keep moving forward. So, yeah.
Cindy.
I think when I felt mine most hopeless is when you're living your life to somebody else's expectations and you put yours in the garbage can, and you did it for so long that you know, that you just thought what other people thought of you was more important than what you were thinking of yourself. So that's how I struggled and hit bottom, where I was just about ready to end it too. So. And that's what I'm working on because, you know, I'm going to live by my expectations and what I expect of myself. And it don't matter how old you are. I used to beat myself up over that. You know, I'm 55 years old. I should be having this. I should be do this. But you know what? No. No, I wasted too much time worrying about what other people thought. And it's great to be able to start thinking and believing in yourself.
Thanks, Cindy.
You?
Chris?
I was just thinking about that quote and it's just like bouncing around in my head. And I was reading this book and it was talking about responsibility, and if certain things like extraneous events happen to me, I'm responsible for how I perceive those, you know? Like if I lose a family member or God stupid, or someone in my someone that's close to me, or someone breaks up with me, or some event happens, yeah, I have to, like, I can either mourn and be depressed over these things, or I can motivate it to make changes in my life. And like, if someone passes away, to honor their memory, or how I carry myself. And so it's easier said than done, in my opinion, but I try to like think about that, because the responsibility for me is to make choices, and with those choices I have to deal with the consequences, whether they be good or bad. If I be depressed, if I take on the depressed nature, you know, I'm going to sit in my bed all day, all night. I don't feel like that's a healthy choice for me to be productive in my life. So in other words, to get through it, to talk to people, to find people that relate to my situation, like Todd's saying in the beginning, you know, he's in this level of self-pity and misery and isolation. Well, let's take number 6 and break out of that and reach out to people like this. And that's the feeling I get when I take responsibility for my own action.
Thanks, Chris. My brother once told me, speaking of what you're talking about, like devastating things that happen to us, like losing someone, a divorce or a breakup, or just catastrophic things that may happen in your life that are life's hardships that we are not immune to. He said, you can either get bitter about it and let it eat you alive and let it destroy you, or you can get better and overcome it. And like you said, honor their memory, or work on yourself, or if you lose a job or career that you were in love with, you can work, go back to school, do something, work on yourself, and just improve your life, because that might not have been the fit for you that you thought. And I don't know, I've been talking about this a lot. I watched this Netflix special. It was like a TED Talk, but it was like stand-up comedy. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It was like a half-serious stand-up, but it's called Jigsaw by Daniel Sloss. It's really dark, so just be warned. But it hit a lot of really good points about the jigsaw puzzle of life that we're building. And sometimes we think we have it figured out. You lose some pieces, and you don't really know what you're shooting for, but you're trying to build this life. And with that, there's a lot of issues that arise, because you might think you know what the end picture is until you keep building it, and it looks completely different when you're done with it. And it could be beautiful, or you could, I don't know, the jigsaw metaphor is really cool. I'm still working on it myself, but the metaphor itself and the jigsaw in real life. But yeah, that's what I got. That was my ramble for the night, so yeah, there we go. Who's got something?
I'll say something.
There you go.
So, I'm not gonna lie, when I first read that, I think I talked about it in group last week, it freaked me out, because I was like, about the 20 years and still, you know, considering or thinking about killing himself, because I'm like, you know, he literally lives the life of recovery. You know, he runs racing for recovery, and I'm thinking about me. I'm like, what if I didn't do it? And I'm just like, you know, I get myself together and, you know, do follow my goals, but running the business, or I don't know, down the road, and I'm thinking like, how the hell would I handle that? You know, because like, I don't personally deal with that, but like anxiety, depression, anger, and all that. And if I am sober and things start flaring up, and like my family and my support around me, they like start freaking out. They're like, grab the reins, like, you know, it's about to go down. And then I'm just thinking of like, you know, but you know, so then I realized I'm like, even, you know, I probably am going to deal with that stuff my whole life, but it will improve. And, you know, there are things I can do to make it better, you know, and you know, we'll get into later, but like, you know, he obviously does stuff every day to work on that, and that's the key. When I always fall off with those issues is because I don't work on it, and that's how I like interpreted it moving forward, how he gets through that. So just that little
blurb stuff.
Hey, you got your chance to talk, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Nice. Yeah.
It's kind of it seems like every time I'm struggling with something or I'm having something going on, like how we'll have a support group meeting and it'll be about something that is like going on. And, you know, I guess, you know, we're emotional beings as humans, you know, and, you know, it's like Josh was just saying, you know what I mean? Like for me personally, like I have to get up and I have to do work on me, you know, in the morning, and then it's like I try to focus on something particular all day long, something that's on my list of stuff I'm trying to work on to get me together, you know? And, you know, I have like 5 things that I'm working on, you know, that are really important. And, you know, like what I said at the beginning, what I was working on was like, you know, I really want to have like an indestructible foundation, you know, and my feelings get in the way all the time. You know, I get really emotional, and if I sit in that crap, like you were saying, sit in it, you know, it builds. It's like a monster, you know, and it just gets stronger and stronger. And like, for instance, today, I was upset about something, okay, so stupid, right? But to me, because that's what was going on in the moment, you know, my still not fixed thinking is blowing this up, you know, and I'm in my head, and I'm with 2 other people and had perfect opportunity to air what I was thinking and talk about it, but instead I'm staying in my mind, and it's just getting bigger and bigger, and like my head's this huge balloon, you know, and it's just like ready to blow up because of this stuff. And so I start welling up, I start getting upset, and I'm getting ready to cry, and you know, I'm just catastrophizing this small event, and it all boiled down to because it's something I can't control, right? And so I'm getting, you know, it's like, what can I manipulate to do this so that it works out in my favor? It's like, you know, when all I really have to do is just continue worrying about myself, and, you know, the situation will eventually fix itself. It's not my place to fix other people or other things. It's my job to worry about how I'm going to react to whatever the situation is. So, you know, just the point of what I'm saying is that this morning I got up and I was really thinking about, you know, I have to work on keeping my emotions and stuff in check and not letting that get in the way of what I'm trying to do. So we're walking to the gym, and, you know, this whole thing's happening. I literally get in the door, and instead of going to work out and talking to people about what's going on, I turn around and I leave. And I'm going to go back in my room, and I'm going to sit in self-pity, and I'm going to wallow, and I'm going to cry instead of talking to somebody about what was going on. And then my folder was laying on the bed, and I have like this affirmation, and it says that I'm aware of my feelings and identify them often in the moment. I know the difference between my thoughts and my feelings. And I read that, and I was like, oh my God, like I totally lost track of what it was that I was trying to do. And so I called somebody and I talked about it, and, you know, that person put me in check, like, you know, about what was going on. And I was like, oh God, thank God, you know, because I was like, okay, so in the grand scheme of things, I actually achieved my goal, even though I had to go to the extreme to do it, you know. But yeah, so for me, I just have to really pay attention to that, you know, and I have to, you know, Todd talks about, you know, intellect over emotion, emotion over intellect, and all that stuff, and, you know, sometimes you have to really find a balance between the two, and so that's what I'm trying to do.
If Kelly, who wrote the poem earlier, was Racing for Recovery Mean to Me, if she was here, she would be like, well, there isn't any coincidence in life, is there? There's no coincidences. I'm just like, I just saw her just like right there, just like saying that in my ear. I was like, all right, Kelly, here you go. Oh, yeah, a bunch of hands. All right, Craig, then Nunley.
I can relate to what Todd was saying. Like when I was younger, for many years, I always feared losing my grandfather because he was like my grandfather, my father. He was like everything to me. And I never knew what I was going to do when he passed. When he did pass, I basically just didn't care anymore. I tried every drug, like in the same day, the same night, you know, not caring if I was going to survive or not. And I went through a really hard time, and I realized that I'm obviously here for a reason. So, but I made it through, and I'm learning, and I'm here.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here too.
Yeah, I'm hesitating to share for like 10 minutes.
That's good stuff, though. Thanks, man. Andy.
Yeah, I'm not happy that happened to him, but I'm grateful that that did happen because it shows me that I don't have to be, you know, 5-10 years sober and still wanting to kill myself. Like Racing for Recovery really pushes and taught me that, like, if I deal with the things that made me not like myself and not make me feel good enough and at the same time building my self-esteem and confidence, that I don't have to go back to that dark place I was, you know, before I got sober. And that, you know, I can currently build a life that when them dark times do come up, I can look at my life and say, wow, you know, this is the good is outweighing the bad and them self-negative thoughts, and that's just a brief moment now compared to before I got sober. It was like, it was constant, you know, depression. I didn't like myself, don't like the way I look, I don't like who I am. And through continually trying to build myself up, and then making the connection of why I didn't like myself and all that, it's like I start creating a life that, like I said, when the times do get bad, you know, the current good things that I do got going on in my life totally outweighs the bad part, you know, and then I don't have to self-destruct no more.
Thanks, Andy. Got a couple minutes left. Who's got something?
Randall?
Randall?
Share with us, Randall. I ain't got nothing.
Okay.
Comment, everybody.
That's all I got.
We'll patiently wait for that then.
I'll talk, I guess.
Alright.
So you got over
Let's hear it, brother.
I was just looking at the part in this chat, like kind of section we read, where it's just like the dark tunnel, waking up to being disgusted with yourself, and I can relate to that part, like about my addiction, like where I was at, you know, just waking up like hopeless, didn't have any appreciation, no like self-confidence, no self-esteem, waking up hating my life every single day, like that's what it was. And I don't know, just to look back today, it's just like to like right now to see how far I've actually like came, you know, it's actually just crazy, and I never thought I'd get this far. And to actually have hope today when I didn't think it was going to even be possible. I didn't think I was going to have enjoyment in anything. I didn't think, just like so many different things I just never thought I was going to have. Like, and like I just relate to this whole thing. Almost getting kicked out, stealing, you know, all that. Like that's, it's just crazy to like think about and actually like look back on where we came from.
and just to appreciate what we have now, even just the little things we have. It's just appreciation is just huge to me today, and I feel like I don't think about it enough. I don't like notice or appreciate like the little things enough, but you know, at least I try. I think about it sometimes, you know, so I don't know. That's all I really got.
Thanks, Randall. That was nice. Really?
I've been like struggling with the suicide thing for, I don't know for how long, because I quit keeping track of it. And so in the part where he says that feeling abandoned as a kid, I did that so bad. And I mean, it's like it just stays there with me and stuff. But I had a discussion with my daughter this week, and she's like, well, if you're suicidal, you should be hospitalized. Well, I already did that part, you know. I just have the thoughts, I'm not going to go hang myself, but for some reason, it's there just about every single day of my life. And I don't know if it's because of something I did to somebody else or something I did to myself, or if it's my self-worth. I try every single day to add something more to whatever I'm struggling with. You know, do a little better than I did yesterday. But I don't. I just don't know what else to do really with it. It to go away. I just want it to go away. It's not this magical thing, because obviously with him having so many years sober, you know, I mean, it's still, he still struggled with it. I know I don't want to leave my family or my kids. So there's some kind of guilt thing that I did to them. But it's just there. And then just think if I don't tell anybody, they're just gonna, you know, I got hit by a car in May. I stepped in front of the semi. I've done endless things that I haven't told anybody that I do. And it haunts me. Every day I go and try to think about what it is that's causing it. I just don't know. That's all I really got to say about it, because I don't know how to sort it out.
Yeah, first of all, I commend you on bringing that up, because it's not easy to do. We don't talk about war stories here, but I had some pretty bad shit happen, and when I got sober, I was actually talking to my mom and dad one day. I was probably 2 weeks sober. And I asked them how often they thought about suicide. And they were like stunned, like never, ever. You know what I mean? And they asked me, and I told them probably 10, 15 times a day. I thought about it all the time.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. And I think, I don't know how long you have sober, but I think once you get the poison out of your system, that's what alcohol and drugs is. It just poisons your system for so long. And once you can get that shit out of your system and start thinking with a little more clear head, start using the tool of positive self-talk. I do that every day. It's vital. I don't ever think about suicide anymore. I don't.
How long were you sober?
2 years.
When it went away?
It took me, everybody asks, a lot of I hear it a lot, you know, when do things start getting better? I usually tell people it was about 5 or 6 months for me. you know? Thank God, I had an ankle monitor on. So it was, that saved me between my ankle monitor and this place. Because if I drank, I had to do 290 days in jail.
Right.
You know, if I set that thing off. And so, I mean, like I say, once you can get to that point where you get, and you'll feel it, you will. You just gotta take it a day at a time. You know what I mean? I lost everything. I lost everything. At 42, I moved back in with my parents. I had yellow license plates on my car for 4 years. Yeah, so if I wake up every day and I think about, go out and look at my car and poor me and this and blah, 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 man, it's just no way to live. So, you know, once you get far enough along, that'll go away. It should, you know. And if not, maybe a little bit of counseling, but it's, that stuff to me, it's the poison that's been running through your body for so long. That's what I attributed it to, because I don't have those thoughts anymore. I love life. Shit, but I love life. You know what I mean? I have a car and a packed storage unit. Oh well, I'm doing great. You know what I mean? So it'll get better for you. It will. Thanks for speaking on.
Yeah. That was awesome. Eric?
I was just sitting here thinking, I was kind of take off of what Andy said over there, and I guess I sit here thinking we should all be damn, at least for myself, I'm certainly grateful, and I thank my higher power, God, and whatever anybody else calls their higher power, that, you know, we're lucky enough to sit in these rooms tonight. We're lucky enough to go to these IOPs, and we can read a book that was written by a guy that was probably really close to taking his own life, and he was able to write a book and come in here and talk and help us help us, you know, give us multiple reasons, you know, not to take our own life. You know, I'm certainly glad I don't think I ever seriously considered about taking my life intentionally, but I know there's times I was drinking and it didn't, you know, if it ended, it would end, and it would have been okay. Not that I was going to set out and do anything to intentionally do it, but so I think that's, like I said, I think we're all just damn lucky to be able to sit here and thank God that he didn't take his life, and he put that book out there. And again, he gave us a lot of good reasons not to do it.
Thanks, Eric. Brendan, Joe, and Patrick.
I just wanted to say, in the beginning, I struggled a lot with negative talks to myself and everything else, and I mean, it doesn't really matter. Negative talk is negative talk. You know, telling like I couldn't do something or I wasn't good enough or nothing. But one thing AJ showed me was started with the video. It was called "Why We Fall" on YouTube. There's hundreds and thousands of videos on YouTube just like that one. I spent so many days after watching that one, like just clicking on what was recommended next, and just a lot of them are just clips from movies that somebody took the time to piece together, and it's like really uplifting, and it started my day for probably 6 months straight. Every day I've watched at least one or two of them in the morning, and when after listening and watching into those, I always felt like invincible. Like it was like, you can't stop me from nothing. Another thing I did to stay out of my head all the time was like a distraction, any form of distraction. Like I went outside and cut down trees and, you know, cleared brush and stuff in our backyard that needed to be done eventually, but just any type of physical activity to take my mind out of whatever I'm thinking of. If I'm sitting there on the couch watching TV, I start thinking bad thoughts, obviously I need to change up what I'm doing, because sitting there isn't helping. So I get up and, you know, just being able to openly share with anybody. Another thing, I mean, talking about like Todd having those negative thoughts and stuff after all those years. I remember him sharing something one day in group when he came in, and before then, I was kind of like a zombie, like going through the motions. Like, I didn't really participate in anything in the beginning. You know, I just knew I had to be there because I knew it was better being in that room than it was anywhere else at the time. So, but eventually it was just, he came in and shared some stuff, and that was affecting him. And it was just like he says in the book, like he's one of us, like, holy shit, like, he's not like just reading this and making it up, you know, like, it made me open my eyes to a whole new respect for him and everything. And also, like, not just him in general, but if you talk to any of the staff here, any of them, like, if you don't know their past at all, like, it's kind of nice that, you know, when you learn, you just ask them where they come from. How did they come here? What brought them to this building? And I think it would blow your mind on some of the stuff that the people that you talk to every day and you don't think about. You know, everybody's worried about themselves and stuff, and we have to be, but just knowing who you're talking to and where they come from, I mean, it's really opened my eyes, and I feel a lot closer with those people too, and just all the way around. So I would just like to thank them all again, and everybody else.
Thanks, Brendan. I'll keep this short.
Take your time.
Just to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying, like, I was in the same boat, you know. You said 15, 20, or 10, 15 times a day, you know, I was thinking about suicide every hour on the hour, you know, and it didn't stop until, you know, I started coming here. And one of the things that I think, you know, might be overlooked is, you know, just trying to figure out what your trauma is, figure out your why, you know, just keep coming back, keep going to your IOP classes, you know, try and learn as much as possible from as many people as possible in this program, you know, and try and relate to them. And just one of these days it's going to click to you, you know, and you'll realize it. And then once you realize it, you'll be able to begin to heal. And I think that will help a lot with the negative thoughts in your head. So that's what worked for me.
My whole life is trauma.
I know it's tough, but
I mean, it's just, I'm just saying that a little, like, trying to put a softer side to it, but I'm just saying, I don't even know how to sort that part out.
It takes time.
Patrick, what you got?
Autobiography in 5 short chapters by Portia Nelson. I walk down the street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I fall in. I'm lost, I'm hopeless, it isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I pretend I don't see it, I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place, but it isn't my fault. It takes a long time to get out. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I see it is there, I still fall in, it's a habit. My eyes are open, I know where I am, it is my fault. I get out immediately. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I walk around it. I walk down another street.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Yeah.